Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Psychic Medium Raymond Guzman, and today I'm going to be doing a celebrity psychic reading on Kendra Wilkinson. This has been a reading that has been requested by a lot of you out there, my soul family here on my YouTube channel, so I'm very excited to do this reading on her. For those of you that don't know who she is a TV personality, actress, model. She's done, other things as well, other business endeavors. So she was one of Hugh Hefner's girlfriends, and then she later, was married to Hank Basket, I believe that's how you say his name, for several years, and she was on several TV shows. She's been on several TV shows on the E channel and some other networks, I believe, but she's been on TV, and her life has been really put out on the spotlight, especially with her relationship that went bad. So I think a lot of people want to know, what is her love life look like after Hank? How is she handling, this separation, well, this divorce that was filed? And what does the future hold for her? So I'm going, hopefully, through this reading to address these questions and these concerns that a lot of you have out there. Genuinely, when I tune into her, I do feel like she's a very good person. I feel like, that she has been through the ringer with this whole situation with Hank. It's not easy, I think, for being a celebrity out there. Your life is no longer, you no longer have that privacy, and you're just putting yourself out there. And you're exposed to these tabloids, to headlines, to criticism. I think a lot of people, especially women, would, be criticizing her, saying, well, Kendra, you're crazy for staying in a relationship that long with a man that you knew that was not faithful. Why did you do it? But you have to understand there's a lot of women out there, because I read a lot of clients out there, and the majority of my clients are females. And a lot of these women, that I read that are my clients that I do adore and respect their privacy. I'm just giving you a little bit of, what typically I encounter. There's a lot of women you'd be surprised that are in the same same situation as Kendra was, where she was in a relationship, but due to finances, joint finances and having children in the mix, it's not as easy as people think to separate from, a relationship that or a marriage. It's just not that simple. There's a lot of red tape. There's a lot of worries and fears. And I think for the most part, that's what most people worry about. They worry about, the fear of perhaps, if I leave my partner, will I be able to make it on my own financially? And above all, the sake of the children, how will the children be able to cope with, the separation or the distance between two people? Will co-parenting work out? So these are the kind of questions, that this reading will, that brings out into the open. And so I feel like a lot of you ladies out there that are listening, and men too, because there are some men, that are, the main have the main custody of their children, would be able to relate. So with Kendra right now, I do feel like she is in a darker place. I do get that she, is battling with some mental things, some emotional things, which is normal. It's typical to go through these emotions, but she's like a phoenix. Her soul is like the phoenix, it will rise from the ashes, and she's very resilient in that way. I do feel like there was some unhealthy coping mechanisms in the past, which have a potential to kind of, be in the present right now, but I do feel like she's in the healing process. So whatever it takes for her to get healing, whether it's, partying out with her girlfriends, or going shopping for something, or just talking to someone that she considers a confidant, I feel like that's what she's going to be doing. Interestingly enough, I feel like she's not ready yet to enter a new relationship. But interestingly enough, I do see that there is a male that is interested in her already and is ready to make his move and, pursue her. I do feel he's light skinned. He could be Caucasian or mixed, but he is light skinned. And I do feel like he is very interested in her. So there could be someone that's really, talking, whispering in her ear, so to speak. Um, telling her sweet things that, but there is a caution here with that, because I do feel like this person is not necessarily being very sincere with her. If it's not happening now, when it does happen within this year, I do feel like there needs to be a level of caution, because I feel like this person may be with someone else, as well. And that's the last thing that Kendra would need, would be to get into another relationship with someone that is, maybe hiding from her, something, being with someone else, kind of like, the same situation that she was in before. So, yeah, she just needs to be very careful with that. I do feel like, this whole thing with Hank and this whole experience, is part of Kendra's life lesson here on Earth, and I do feel like it is karmic in nature, their relationship. I don't feel like they were soulmates, but more like twin flames, her and Hank, her ex. So I see her, kind of helping other couples and women out there. Eventually, she could be writing a book, uh, or doing something on some kind of level, some kind of platform, using her platform to kind of help women out of this, helping them realize that, they don't have to be in relationships that are mentally and physically draining and embarrassing, and they don't have to subject themselves to anything less than what they deserve. And then I get there's another male that is going to be coming in as well. This guy is more of a water sign, I want to say. So you could be a Cancer, a Pisces, um, and I get that he is more younger than Kendra. So again, there's two guys that are going to be they're interested in her already. And this is something that either they've already talked to her, or this is something that's coming up this year. But there's definitely a lot of men on the prowl, and that's kind of, sad. But a lot of times, when they, guys see that there's, a beautiful female out there that, like Kendra, that is single, now single, they want to, kind of, make their move. I just feel like she's not ready for it. It's not anytime soon. No, her main focus right now is on her children and co-parenting, or, at least being amicable with Hank. And it's not an easy process. I also see her, working very hard on projects. She's going to have, to make a decision when it comes to her money. I feel like, there's two different things that are coming in this year. In fact, it may be, within the next 2 months that she is approached with two different opportunities, two different projects, and she's going to have to decide. But I feel like the one that, she would less likely do is going to produce the most money for her. But she's a very strong lady. I see a lot of strength in her. And she's totally going to be okay. It's going to be rough for the, the next 2 to 3 years. And I do feel like Hank, does miss her, and he is not doing the best, as possible. And so every time that they have to, interact, he's always going to be a part of her life due to the children that they have together, so it's going to be difficult for them for her, and specifically, to see him or to be around him, because a lot of these emotions, kind of come up and surface up. I think a lot of people are, thinking, well, will they ever get back together? I feel like she's done that already. She's gone, she's played that game, which is, I consider it like a game, where she kind of, and a lot of women out there, I've seen this in a lot of my readings that I do, private readings for everyday clients, that, they forgive their partner that's cheating on them, or that is doing other things, and or abusing them, and they just, they reconcile, they separate, they reconcile, they separate, and they come back. And that's like, quote unquote, a complicated relationship. and it's not good for the children, and it's very confusing. Um, so I feel like she's more more worried about the sake of the children, and how they're going to cope, with a new man in her life when she does get to that point. In the meantime, Spirit wants to say for her to have fun and go out and dating, do your thing, girl, and don't look back, to the past. But realize that when it comes to your next relationship, there is, like I said, with these two guys that are going to be interested in her, and maybe her choosing one of them or kind of exploring, to be very careful, because I do feel like she could eventually kind of fall into a relationship that is unhealthy with one of these guys, and again lead to heartbreak again. And it's just something that she needs to avoid and be very careful with, because yeah, I just feel like that is something that is very much a potential there for her. um I also get that her health, there may be something with her chest, in particular, with her breast, that she had, I don't know if she's had implants, but that is what's coming in from Spirit, and it's something that she just needs to be watchful for. I feel like she may be undergoing a revision surgery or some type of cosmetic enhancement in the near future. But just be very careful with that, kind of investigate with which are the best doctors, etc. And she should be fine. But I do feel like she will be undergoing some cosmetic surgery within the next 2 to 3 years here, from Spirit. But right now, it's a time where she's really going to turn to her spiritual side, and find her strength. Does she believe in in the afterlife and in psychics? I feel like she is open to this world, and she is very much trying to turn to spirituality, even though she may be whatever faith that she is. But I do feel like she is trying to find the deeper meaning in life and her purpose. There are darker times that when I tune into her, where she's had darker thoughts and was like, what is my purpose here on earth for all this suffering? Because yes, she has money. Yes, she has friends, but she keeps her social circle very tight. But a lot of these celebrities are not happy. I think a lot of us, have a perception about them that because they have, fame or they're on TV, that they're ultimately happy. But would you be happy if your life is constantly out on the media? Would you be happy if people are criticizing you and scrutinizing your relationships, and paparazzi following you around, where you can't even go to the restroom, and be by yourself without maybe someone having a camera in the restroom, or a paparazzi coming into the restroom to follow you? You'd be surprised what a lot of these reporters and things, as paparazzis, what they write. If you can't even go out in public, and if you're feeling bad, or you're not feeling good, well, they're gonna automatically spin a story in the tabloid. Well, Kendra did not look happy. She was crying after an argument with her ex. So I mean, I'm just using this as an example, but it's very true. I'm not a celebrity myself. Well, you could consider me like a celebrity. I don't consider myself one, but you know, I do have some friends that are celebrities, and it's like that's the life, that's how they don't have privacy. It's like you don't have privacy at all. It's like a different world, and you have to put on kind of like a facade, which is not really being your authentic self. And I feel like she's tired of that. It's like if she's having a bad hair day, they're going to criticize her for that. If she's wearing something that is not a designer label, or she's used it twice, you're going to be criticized for that. So it's like it's this crazy world that celebrities live in ultimately. But she's going to be fine. I feel like she is definitely just focusing now on the future, and that's where she needs to go. Just continue to be strong. She does have a lot of angelic support, and ultimately, like I said, I feel like she's going to be just fine. But what worries me about her is her mental state and her, if she isn't in therapy, this is something that, she should, even if it would be more spiritual and, getting like Reiki or, working with crystals, she would really benefit like from, something green like malachite, or even turquoise, and that's not green, that's like a bluish, but she would really benefit from those crystals in particular for healing. And then, saying daily mantras and kind of writing to release. And that's one of the things that I tell a lot of my clients that I see, similar type of energies. It's like, how do you, how do you get part, what is part of the healing process when you're going through something traumatic? How do you heal? And it's like talking about it, releasing it. And some people can talk about it to people and, and for days upon days, and, you're releasing a lot of that energy. For Kendra and some other people that would be tuning in, it's going to be easier to kind of like write it out. Like, I'm a writer myself, so whether it's, typing it out on a computer, or writing it out on a sheet of paper, write it out, and kind of like, that's the way I feel like she would get her emotions out in a healthy way and channel it, or even going into the gym and doing, taekwondo or kickboxing. I'm doing something like that. That would be very helpful for her. But overall, I extend big angel hugs out to Kendra and her beautiful family, and I hope that that she heals from all of this, and I wish her nothing but success, abundance, and good health for 2019 and beyond. So thank you so much for all of you that requested for me to do this video. If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, be sure to follow me on Facebook and Instagram, and if you would like to book a private reading with me, you can go to my website at www.raymondguzman.net/shop. And don't forget to pick up a copy of my book, Starseed Footsteps. And send me a photo if you have bought my book out there and you have not sent me a photo of your book with my book. I would like to feature you on my Instagram. So you can email a picture to my email address, which is raymondguzman@hotmail.com, and include your Instagram handle in the email, so that way I can give you a shout out and also featured. I want to promote my book, and I feel like, me having pictures of my fans, my soul family out there, those of you that have purchased it, it kind of helps, so enjoy the rest of your day or evening wherever you are. Blessings and love and light.